Hey, 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 Capricorn, what's happening? Excited to see you guys, as always. I have pulled some cards here so that we could just figure out just a message for you guys. So I put the intention on that this message will get to whoever needs it. It's timeless, you know. If it fits for you, then it fits for you. If not, then just leave it behind, okay? I appreciate you always for being here, guys. Give me a like and a subscribe if you haven't. I always forget to ask, so I'm putting it at the beginning. I get into the reading here, so I have to say, I'm not sure where to start here. So I'm just gonna begin with the fact that I think a lot of the feelings and emotions that you're feeling right now are from something that has already happened. So past tense, right? This could have like just happened, or this could be something that happened 20 years ago, or 10, 12 years ago. I don't know why that just come to me like that, but take it like this could be, you know, something that is affecting your life because you're holding on to it and carrying it with you. And so the universe is here to help you understand that if there are things that are like reoccurring, or it seems like it's a cycle for you, you know, if you're saying like all men are the same, or, you know, everything's always going to be bad, like if that's the thing, like I have bad luck, you know, those kinds of statements is what gets us stuck. Excuse me, I'm sorry. In situations. So you guys fit it wherever you want to fit it, but I do have to say that I feel really good whenever it comes to relationships, guys. Relationships can be anything. This could be love, you know, romance, which I do feel good in. Friendships, it could be anywhere. Again, you fit it wherever it fits in your life, but so what they're showing me is that, first of all, you guys have definitely a feeling of frustration and what's the word? Like, I feel like you guys could be fiery or feisty, you know, like maybe you have been, you know, kind of snapping at people, you know, that kind of feeling. But like also it's this, okay, so here's something else that's coming to me is trust for you guys, okay? Trust for you guys is really big, okay? I really think that like you could spot a liar out of nowhere, like you just have this knowing, but because of all the wrong that you've been through, like you're always in this place of question mark with trust. But I'm just going to tell you what Spirit's given me, but do you even trust yourself? You know, like forgive whatever it is that, you know, is causing you to feel like you can't let go of, you know, like maybe the decisions that you've made in the past or something that you did wrong. You know, this is big around trusting yourself, you know, trust that you learned from the last person. You're not going to let them do you wrong the same way you're going to see the signs. But also know that if you bring your baggage from one relationship to another or from one job to another, then it is going to be to the forefront for you because you didn't deal with that baggage and let it go. You're not accepting that, you know, not everything's always going to be the same, and the universe is giving you what you are speaking of, okay? So the biggest thing that I feel like Americans mostly, but that's just my personal thing, don't come at me, but if you want to, let's talk about it. And it's not all Americans. I'm not a blanket statement person like that, but like coming from this place that, you know, the universe wants to talk about the positive, wants to talk about the good, you know. So if you're like in this place of oh, my life is so horrible, because these things, but these are the things that you speak of, these are the things that you think of, and all of that, then unfortunately that's the universe thinks, oh, that's what you're thinking about, so that's what you want. You know, it doesn't communicate by, you know, all the words. That's not how. It's energies. Okay, the universe communicates by energies. That's my belief. So if you're feeling real good about something and you focus on the thing that's making you feel good, then that's what you're going to get, you know. But if you're sitting there focusing on something different, then, you know, like that's what the universe, like if you're in the sphere state, like, I'm not going to do this because it's just going to be just as bad as the next. Then the next is going to be that. That's what it's karma, right? It's things coming. Words are witchcraft, right? Like they can be used for witchcraft. So if you're saying something, you're making that happen, you know. So try your best to, you know, come to more of a belief state and understanding that, you know, whoever it is that you believe in has got you, you know. But like, work on the communication of that. Okay, ask for signs, you know, ask for guidance. No, don't just say, can you guide me? You have to say like, you know, maybe blanket statement, am I making the right choices? Am I going in the right direction? And then you say to the universe, can you show me signs by bringing me cardinals? Or can you show me signs by seeing a rainbow? You know what I'm saying? Like, point out to the universe how you want that communication to be. God, whoever it is that you connect with, okay? And understand, I'm sorry, I hate this statement too, but everything happens for a reason, you know. We're meant to learn. And I have to tell you, the biggest lessons that I have gotten in my lifetime was what I learned who I don't want to be. That is point. And but if I didn't experience, I wouldn't know that, right? So, and that's the same with relationships. Like, you know, I realized who I didn't want to be with, so I could eliminate that I don't want an asshole. I'm just playing, guys. But I just want to make sure that in your relationships, you are communicating with people or animals, whatever the case may be, the universe, you know, communicate your needs. What is it that you want? Not that you don't want. What is it that you want? What makes you feel good? You know, and point towards that, you know. And if this is like something with the trust that's haunting you, you have to let it go, you know. You have to work towards being around people who you can trust and that feeling. But again, if you're struggling with trust issues for yourself, or you're in this place that you can't trust no one, then that's what life's going to be. So I really want you to take some time on trust around this time and figure out how you can be more flexible. Because the universe, there's magic, guys. I'm no joke. You know, we can make things happen. We can trigger movement when we're stuck, but we have to realize that what we're doing is not working. It's not working, so it's time for change. And then you ask, how do I do that? And then you start taking actions whenever you realize what you want or how you want to do it. But if you just sit and wait, because I feel a lot of waiting in this energy, like I'm waiting for someone else. You don't need to wait for someone else. You don't need to wait for a reaction, you know, like you don't, or for something to happen. You can make it happen. You just have to put the focus on yourself of like, so much coming to me. Like, consider how you're expressing yourself. Okay, guys, that's big here. But expression. How am I expressing myself? How can I communicate this better? raising your vibration. If I understand people who have health struggles, I completely do. I have my own. And so understand that, if you have a bad day, it's okay. Please don't take this from me, but I'm trying to give an overall message. Like even on my bad days, I have learned now that I'm working on raising my vibration and finding happiness. I have learned that when I just sit still and I don't go out and walk or find a way to like burn energy and exercise, then I am stressed out. My mind is too much and everything. So like, know that we can pray for protection. Know that we can like come to a center. Everything's going to be okay within ourselves. No one else has to tell us that. We can find it within ourselves. And when we find that peace, when we find that balance, when we find that, and it takes years, and you could be good, like me, I could be good for 3 weeks, like, oh, everything's good, I'm so happy, but then all of a sudden I just wake up and it's like something is nagging at me and it's like driving me insane, and I'm like, why am I like this? Everything's good. Why is this triggering me? Nothing happened to cause that, but it just happens, And so then I have to work through that. And sometimes that's, what our shadow work is because just because it didn't bother us yesterday doesn't mean it's not bothering us today. But we have to acknowledge that stuff within ourselves in order for us to be able to move past it and accept it, accept what is, and, move forward with each day. Just be sure to try to make each day better. That's all you can do, right? I feel like I'm kind of jumping around, but that's the energy that I feel right now. So I apologize if I'm confusing you guys. But you can always reach out to me and you can get a more in-depth reading on it for yourself, because whenever I do these collective reads, it could go in so many different directions. So, I do think if you're having conflict with somebody, it's going to calm, okay? It's going to get better. It's just, and you're going to hear from them, all of those things. But like, know that when you're in a time of waiting or stuck or whatever the case may be, it's up to you to make the movement happen. But while you're in this place is whenever you're asking yourself these bigger questions: what kind of life do I want to live? Who do I want to be, or who do I want to be with? Like, do I want to surround myself with that person even though they keep breaking my heart? They might come to me and say they want to be with me, but do I want to be with them? You have to acknowledge your own emotions and your own stuff, right? Because when we fall back and be like, well, I feel bad for them, so I'm going to go ahead and give them another chance. But you can't keep doing that over and over again. And for some reason, it's coming through for some of you guys. Toxic behavior is not okay, We can't keep giving excuses for someone who has these toxic traits, or doing toxic things. It could be drugs or alcohol or whatever the case may be. We have to be aware that it's happening and also make sure that we're keeping a check on that ourselves. Where are our thoughts? Where are, are we eating too much of something, or drinking too much of something, or taking something that we shouldn't? Be aware of that. So, emotions are going to be high right now, okay, guys? Emotions are going to be high. Just be sure to trust that God's got you, or whoever, your past loved ones, whatever your beliefs are. And, just stand in your power. Be who you are. You're fucking beautiful. You don't deserve for, someone to, and maybe it's your, see, I keep coming back to that. I feel like maybe you're not communicating to someone in your life that they're doing you wrong, or, that you're not going to take that. you know, and even if it's not about taking that, maybe it's the feeling of, I just want to help them. So they worked all day, and so I'm going to cook them dinner, and I'm going to clean the whole house, and I'm going to make sure the kids get a bath, and I'm going to do the shopping. But they're not considering for you that you did all that too. So sometimes it's just about, hey, any way you could do this for me, you know, have that communication so that you're not overdoing it for yourself and wearing yourself down. So this is really a powerful reading, I feel like, guys. Like inner authority here. See, this is like about your own self-control. Are you self-sabotaging yourself? Like, are you making sure that you're understanding that, you know, maybe you're saying things too harshly? Like, for example, you're not communicating, you're holding it in, but then because you haven't communicated what's happening, you blow up, right? And this may be the issue on the other foot, the person that's in your life, right? But if that makes sense, like, but if you would have just said, hey, I need your help, instead of waiting until you're just exhausted or wore down and you're waiting to see, are they going to do something? Are they going to help me? Are they going to do it? And you just keep stressing. You have to communicate right that, because you don't want to blow up. You don't want things to come to an extreme. But have courage, strength, always. Know that things can get better. And like I said earlier, I do see some communication coming through. Maybe unexpected. Maybe it's not what you want. And if it's okay, if it's not, that's okay. It doesn't have to be, you know. And don't worry about hurting someone else, because, like, it's better to be honest and move forward than to continue living the lie, right? To continue hoping that it's going to be different, or even, you know, just to continue this cycle over and over again. There's got to be some type of communication here, okay? Also, yeah, there's a lot around like fiery stuff here for you guys. So conflict, anger, some mean, hateful words and stuff. So I don't know if you're doing this to yourself or if someone else is doing it to you, but regardless, try to start understanding why it's so fiery. You know, it doesn't have to be this way. You can find balance, okay? But you just got to ask yourself and start checking yourself, like taking time for yourself. Just breathe, like go in your thoughts, you know, take time with you and figure out, you know, like work on your shadow work. You know, what have I been going through that I could use right now? Like, what have I learned in the past that can benefit me, you know? Like, don't let the deception and envy trigger you. Know your worth. You don't deserve to be wronged like this, you know? So, or like in the past, you know, like I said, it could be a past thing. It doesn't, but for some reason, it's important right now. Like, is it triggering you now? Or is that an ex that's coming back into your life that, you know, wasn't good for you? Do you see what I'm saying? So, guys, keep that chin up, you know, please. Think about how you can be flexible right now. How can you change things? What can you do? You know, make a difference. Communicate your needs, okay? Not everybody knows if we don't tell them, right? So, okay, guys, I love you so much. Please give me a like and a follow, and thank you for being here with me always. I love you guys so much. Bye for now.